so much. I really appreciate it.
The temperature is good in here.
Yes, this is recording, just so you know.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave.
No, I mean, feel free to, you know.
Obviously, you know, don't want you to go out.
Yeah.
Or I learn, a lot of the times I will just kind of go like. Just so that, even though with the sign, I had the sign added because I was like. It happens so hot, that you like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sunday was awesome, by the way. Thank you so much for all your help. It was like really, really beautiful. I think it's better and better every year.
Yay, oh, that's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, so lovely.
Clearly I'm gonna like female. Thank you.
Oh, good, you should. Carrie. Hi, I'm sorry. No worries. So this is already recording, just so you know. Okay. There's already people in the waiting room, which is exciting. And I hear that you're using your Gmail account? Yeah, that's true. Okay, awesome. So you can just type in your info here. And it'll guide you through just like a computer with. How are you feeling? It's exciting. I'm so excited to see you teach.
See me teach? Oh, no, fully healthy.
Oh, something contagious?
No, probably not, because I've literally been sick for like 2 weeks. Like it will not go away.
Gosh, the better soon.
Me too. That's not very nice. Is there a caps lock on this or something? No.
No. I was gonna say, sometimes it like lets you enter via text or something.
I'm using the wrong pencil.
Oh.
Do we anticipate anybody going first?
Yeah, I sure hope so. There's a lot of snacks. And virtual people can't eat snacks.
Sarah Abrams.
She is an advisor for BBYO.
She'll tell me too, and see if she meant to email me about this.
I mean, what did she do?
There's no link.
Oh, so it's very possible. I can text Nicole and make sure that she got.
Never mind.
You're in.
Yes, I know. No, I guess that's no. Sorry. Oh, I guess Sarah did get these. Okay, no.
Yeah, they all think that's, yeah.
So do I let the people into the,
I can do it, don't worry. Let me be your your technology concierge.
awesome,
I'll take that off you.
um,
But I do need them fast.
no, I know,
Okay.
this is the best way to do this, right?
Yep, and then you can just use the arrow keys. Okay. Or you can tell me to and I can, if you wanna focus on. The other stuff. We can. Okay, so we share our screen as well. Let's do that. Cool.
Let me find her.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Well, I said hi and they said hi back, so my guess is yes. We'll get started in just a few minutes.
Can you hear me? This is Marilyn.
Yes, hi, Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, but I don't have much on my screen.
You can't see you mean you can't
I
You
don't
don't have
see
much.
I don't see any of you guys.
but do you see this? Do you see the
Do you see
Lomet
something that
function?
says Lomed Lunch and Learn?
Yeah, that I see.
That's exactly all you need to see.
Yeah, no one else has their camera on, so don't worry. Let's see, you have the chat. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Sarah, so glad you're here. Hi, welcome.
Am I the only one today?
So far,
Yeah, so far, but that also means more food for you.
Okay.
Feel free to take a seat. Oh, can I ask you to sign in?
Yeah. I was like. Rushing around.
No worries.
Hi, I'm Carrie. I'm Sarah.
I'm Delilah.
Nice to meet you.
I don't know if this means good.
Remember if I do our JCC, I feel like always do my Gmail, but.
If you are in always, then we probably have a meeting for you anyway, so it doesn't matter either way. We'll write one down just in case, but it might be, you know what I mean?
Never. JCC email.
like, are you earning your own Lomed credits?
Yeah.
Then put down your personal email.
Okay.
Solid advice. More advice than I need to give, so thanks, Carrie.
Even my sit.
Admin are all. Marilyn's here.
Again,
Different Marilyn.
sweet, we have 10 people online.
Yeah. Let's write it up there.
We have Marilyn, you have another Marilyn, Christine, Elizabeth.
Yeah. Sorry, my brain does not work as fast as your speaking does. I get it. Yeah. Brain.
Yeah.
We don't know who this iPhone called this, but we can let the vendor be there.
I don't know how to get rid of this.
Hello.
Hello.
Our friend who just joined us on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, what is your name?
I have an iPhone 12.
Okay, is that your name on Zoom currently?
I don't, there's part of the screen is covered by the New York Times and I can't figure out how to get rid of it, but I can see most of it. So I don't.
Okay.
Marilyn Kraar, Kraar.
Oh, hi, Marilyn. It's nice to see you.
Who are you? I
I'm
can't.
Delilah.
Hi, Lila. Hi, Delilah.
So glad you're here.
I'm so glad to see you again. I want to hear about your year.
Oh, definitely. I'll send you an email. We can set up a time for coffee. How's that?
Okay. It's a cooking thing. Any suggestions? It's just like takes up about a quarter of the screen here.
Oh, sorry.
All the shit you've been doing, which is fine.
Yeah. Up to you. Oh, wait, let's let this.
In like 10 minutes. At the most, and I'll be late.
They may have joined and come back.
It's like
So let's minimize
you
this.
get like a lot of time to dive
Let's
into
do
it.
iPhone 12 person. Oh, and let's let Kia.
But like, let me see this part. We're trying to see it.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's what it is, how the other ones compared and
Yeah, and I mean he was quiet during all of them.
yeah.
But
Okay, let's mute them so that we're not.
and I was like, how is Nathan like hearing him
And
talk?
I heard them. And I was like,
But he like makes himself sick for us. Like he gets
not-
Yeah,
Admitting you again, yes.
she might be on two different devices. Okay. Right, everyone's in and I'm getting everyone for now. Right, but they should unmute if they want to speak, so that we're not hearing background noise yet. But the floor is yours.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who have not met me before, I am Carrie Barbakoff, and I am the Education Director at Emmanuel of Waukesha. If you have a camera and you are able to turn it on, it would be great for us to be able to see you. It makes it more friendly and personable. And so that we're teaching to a class of people. In the room right now is me, Carrie, and
I'm Delilah Conan. I'm the Director of Teen Initiatives for the Coalition for Jewish Learning for Milwaukee Jewish Federation. I'm standing in for Nicole today, who has a sick baby, unfortunately.
And Sarah Massa, I'm in K4 in Zolfine.
Carrie
Here,
Academy.
Academy, yeah.
Would anybody on Zoom like to introduce yourself and say what you teach and where?
Shelly Elin, I teach preschool at Ganami Whitefish Bay.
Thanks, Shelley.
Ray Ferris,
else?
Ganami, Whitefish Bay.
Elizabeth
Francine.
Kaiser,
Oh.
I teach at Whitefish Bay too.
Francine Conrad, I work at Ganami. I teach 3 to 4 year olds at Whitefish Bay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shraddha. I'm an art specialist here at Whitefish Bay and Ganam and Mequon, both location.
My name is Kia Zhang, and I'm the operations manager at Milwaukee Jewish Day School.
I'm Lisa Kaleko, and I am kind of in all the different classrooms, 3K through 8th grade at MJDS.
All right. So thank you so much to everyone who has joined. Marilyn, did you want to?
Did you get mine? Marilyn Franklin at Congregation Shalom, 2nd grade.
Great. So as you can see, there are two visual images of different times of day. On the top left, this is actually sunset at the beach in Tel Aviv. And on the bottom right, we have the moon here in Wisconsin one night. So as we progress through this presentation, I want you to think about these two images and what do they mean in terms of the holiday of Shabbat and the Havdalah ceremony.
Maybe use mouse and click on the right side of the screen. Away, yeah.
So we can look at the Torah to start our thought process on what is the origin of Shabbat. And in the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8, it says, "Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy." Verse 9 then says, 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. Verse 10 says, "But the seventh day is a Sabbath of the eternal your God. You shall not do any work, you, your son or daughter, your male or female slave, or your cattle, or the stranger who is within your settlements." And verse 11 says, "For in 6 days God made heaven and earth and sea and all that is in them, and then rested on the seventh day. Therefore, God blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it." So as we can see, we are commemorating after the 6 days of creation, the seventh day when God rested. So why Friday night to Saturday? Why is Shabbat celebrated from Friday night to Saturday? In the Torah, night precedes day for all matters. This is derived from the description of the world's creation, about which the Torah states, "And there was evening and there was morning, day one." This tells us that each 24-hour day begins at night, and thus Shabbat, the seventh day, begins at night. At first, we were enslaved to Pharaoh in Egypt, but from there we were freed, received the Torah, and entered Eretz, or the land of Israel. This is how it is always is for the Jewish people. Darkness and troubles are followed by light and redemption. First, we must deal with our problems, but from within them, we are elevated and refined. So if we ask ourselves, what is Shabbat? Do you want to read for us the first? Well,
I have like a tickle, I'd rather.
Sure.
I'm back here. Go ahead. What is Shabbat? The weekly 25-hour holy day of rest, which begins shortly before sunset on Friday night and ends after nightfall on Saturday night.
So it's designed for spiritual renewal, family and community, strictly observed by refraining from malacha or creative work, while embracing positive rituals. It balances traditional halacha or Jewish law with modern life, encouraging prayer, study, and enjoyment, or the word oneg. So if you've ever heard of the word oneg Shabbat, that means to celebrate the enjoyment of Shabbat. And sometimes an oneg Shabbat will be before a Friday night service, or it might be after a Friday night service, or it might be after a Shabbat morning service on Saturday. So the sacred seventh day of rest, commemorating God resting after creating the world. It is a legally binding covenant characterized by strict adherence to Jewish law, or halakha, involving complete stopping or cessation of 39 prohibited categories of creative work, such as driving, writing, cooking, and using electronics to focus on prayer, Torah study, family, and spiritual rest.
Are you here to go?
Yes, ma'am, I was on Zoom, waiting on my other co-teacher to come on, help me if I could come in.
Great. And what's your name? Sorry.
Teresa?
Okay.
So part of Shabbat is celebrating mitzvot or actions. And the actions that take place on Shabbat on Friday night are lighting candles. When we usher in the peace of Shabbat, the minimum obligation is to light at least one candle. Some people light 2 candles, representing to remember the Shabbat, Zachor, and to keep the Shabbat, Shamor Shabbat. Some people have the custom to add more candles, such as one for each child in the family. Once you've lit your Shabbat candles, then it is custom to eat 3 festive meals throughout the Shabbat.
So we have.
Hi, show me. So Friday night, we have a dinner. Saturday afternoon, after the morning service, we have lunch. And then later on in Saturday afternoon, before Shabbat ends, we have a third meal called Sudash Lishi. Some people make things for Shabbat that they don't normally make during the week, to make it special. Before actually eating the festive meal, we say which is sanctifying the day over a cup of wine or grape juice, before we eat our meal. And after saying Kiddush, we eat challah. So challah is the braided egg bread, or water challah. And we use 2 loaves of bread or 2 whole rolls to commemorate the double portion of manna that the Jews were given in the desert on their way to freedom. So, and it's also tradition to attend a Friday night service. Some people attend a Shabbat morning service. Some people also attend an afternoon and an evening service. And attending worship services is typically to hear the weekly portion of the Torah that is chanted or read aloud.
Right, so please, about like the about the manna. That so you say eating commemorated the double portion of manna in the desert. So what is that? What does that mean?
So it's thought that when the Jews were traveling through the desert out of Egypt into the land of Israel, that God provided them on Shabbat a double portion, so that they would have enough food to eat for that $25 period.
Are you asking what manna is or?
No, I know what this is. It's like a wafer, some type of wafer that's sweet.
Yeah, I don't know, like I.
They say, sometimes like it's bound and it's like, and then you look it up, it says that it's like some kind of wafer, it's like sweet, like.
Yeah.
Like with honey, I'm thinking it would taste good too.
Yeah.
I would be happy, I wouldn't complain to God about it.
Right. So if we just take a break about learning the actual rituals of Shabbat, to think about maybe different projects that you could do in your classroom with your students. Even our youngest learners can decorate a special cup. So making a Kiddush cup or a ceremonial goblet used in tradition to sanctify Shabbat. So something that they could bring home and that they could use with their family or friends on Friday night at the beginning of their Friday night dinner. Making candlestick holders, whether it's full candles or you could even make tea light holders. Making them out of clay, making them out of taking the glass that you could buy at Walmart or the dollar store and decorating it with Mod Podge or different materials. Making a challah cover, the easiest way to do this is to go to Dollar Tree or Walmart or Amazon and get the plain white handkerchiefs. And then you can decorate those with either fabric markers or paint. There's a lot of different things that you can do, or you can tie dye it to make a challah cover. Something that your kids will use at home and help encourage their families to celebrate Shabbat, to want to go and buy a challah and cover it. It's also definitely possible to make challah dough in school and then send it home to bake. One idea is that if you send home the raw dough, then you are encouraging the families to bake it and to have that smell of challah, of fresh bread, baking in the house on Friday or Thursday night. If you make the dough in school, in class, and then send the raw dough home in like a small aluminum tray and say bake it, it gets families encouraged and excited to smell that fresh bread and to think about what can Shabbat be in their house. Similarly, if you were to make the dough ahead of time and then have the kids grate it and you bake it at school and then they can bring home on Friday. I know some of the schools do that.
We do that every
We do it.
Friday. In our classroom here, we do it every Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, the kids take home their, I love that.
So, yeah, definitely a great opportunity because what kid doesn't want to give mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or whoever they're having Friday night dinner with their challah that they made. And then that will encourage the parents to at least stop and recognize, hey, my kid made this at school. What is it and why are we eating it? So these are all things to just bring it out of the classroom and into the home, in encouragement of recognizing Shabbat with the symbols of Shabbat. So what is the purpose of Shabbat? Why are we celebrating this 25-hour period of time? Can I get someone to read? Show me, can I read?
Oh, yeah. It is observed as a queen or a bride and is treated with high joy, sensitivity, and honor. Some people give personification of the Shabbat as a royal figure or bride, symbolizing that it is as welcoming a royal figure to your home. The goal is to make the day feel elevated and distinct. It is a palace in time rather than space, designed to disconnect from work and reconnect with family, community, and spirituality. In our busy world, it is a time to take a pause.
Okay, so there's two different ideas here being presented that Shabbat, some people say, is a Shabbat queen or a Shabbat bride. So Shabbat Hamalka or Shabbat Kala.
That's what we are singing.
Right.
Inviting her.
Exactly. Right. So we actually sing part of our Friday night service, part of our prayer is singing Bo'i Kala, welcome the bride. Or
Yeah, I love the idea that Shabbat's a girl. I don't know why, but I don't know.
That's good.
And then also making your house a special place, a special time where you're disconnecting from work, where you're connecting with family, or if you go to synagogue, connecting with community, or if you invite people outside of your family to your house to have the special meal with you on Friday night or the special lunch with you on Saturday afternoon, are great ways to reconnect with family and friends. And also an opportunity in a school setting where you could do a Friday night dinner. Whether or not you do it as a potluck or have the kids maybe make a main dish at school. There's a lot of different ways that you could do a communal Friday night dinner so that the families see what Friday night dinner looks like. So one question that I wanted to pose to anybody who would like to participate is, what is something you would like to take a break from each week? Well, okay, so Shlomit says work. Anybody else want to unmute yourself and share something that you want to take a break from?
I personally love to teach my swim lessons, but sometimes it would be a great break from the water.
I'm in grad school, and so I feel like I find myself leaving teaching and then going home and writing a paper. And, you know, sometimes if I don't have time or make the time during the week, I kind of have to do that kind of homework on the weekend. And it would be nice if I set a harder boundary for myself to give myself a pause from that.
Marilyn?
Oh, you can record her.
Oh, let me.
Wait, you can do it for her, I think. Oh no, fantastic. So we're going to ask to unmute. Marilyn, we can't hear you. Do you mind unmuting yourself?
Are you talking to me? There are two
Marilyn,
people.
sorry.
Marilyn Carr.
Okay.
We can't hear you. It should pop up on your screen.
Now can you hear me?
Go. Now we can hear you.
Okay. I said I would really like to turn off all technology and really not put it in my life at all for that 25-hour period.
Great. So thank you everyone who indulged me in answering our question. And this is definitely just another tool to use when you're teaching your students, is to stop and do a check-in, see that they're understanding what it is that you're trying to talk about. So if they were to answer this question and it would be something that makes no sense to the question, then we know that maybe you need to stop and re-clarify. So there are different types of rests that we have in our lives. The concept of a holistic rest or a psychological reset. So Shabbat is not just about sleeping. Although many people do enjoy taking a Shabbat afternoon nap or going to bed early on Friday night. But it's really about refraining from creative work. The 39 categories of labor that are listed in the Torah. To focus on being present, whether it's studying or learning or just doing something of enjoyment. So modern applications include turning off electronic devices, putting away work-related items. Some people, like if you use your dining room table for your office, right, during the week, Monday through Friday, maybe taking that computer, taking that laptop, taking that work phone and putting it away Friday night, and really having your space be dedicated to your Friday night dinner. That makes a big difference in how you feel, right? Putting away your tablet, maybe not watching TV on Friday night. I know Friday night we like to just sit in bed and sit on our couch and relax. but maybe using Friday night and Saturday to take a break from TV or to take a break from social media. And some things that I can recommend to do are reading books, magazines, singing songs, learning or studying text. Each week, as I said, a different portion of the Torah is read. So taking a moment to read in English or in Hebrew, what is it that is in that Torah portion of the week? Or it could be studying any text. Judaism is full of texts and full of different things. And so there's a lot of different opportunities to learn, whether it's laws about Shabbat or laws about a holiday coming up, or just taking some time to study something new that maybe you haven't taken that time the rest of the week. And of course, playing board games, playing card games, using that time to disconnect from our electronic devices.
And also connect between in family.
Right.
Because when you're playing a board game, for example, or you're going for a walk together,
Oh, good, going for a walk is going.
it's like connecting, give it time to connect.
Right, so social media is suggesting that if you are taking the time to play a board game or to go for a walk on Shabbat, that you are using that time to reconnect and to connect with either family or friends that you maybe have invited over. So what are the rituals and traditions of Shabbat? How do we physically prepare for Shabbat? So some people use this as an opportunity. Maybe you don't have time during the week to clean your house. Maybe Thursday night or Friday morning before you go to work, or Friday afternoon when you come back from work, that might be a time to tidy up your house, whether it's mop the kitchen floor or just take out the trash. Just creating that calm atmosphere in your house can really make you feel different. Some people make sure that they shower on Friday afternoon right before Shabbat, and dress in special clothes. Some people have special shoes for Shabbat, and it's really just to honor the day. Some people cook special meals for Friday night dinner. Saturday lunch and Saturday late afternoon is usually a light meal. Some people prepare these meals in advance, whether it's cooking Thursday night and then reheating it on Friday, or cooking on Friday and having the special foods. So some people make challah, some people make a special soup, whether it's chicken soup or matzo ball soup or whatever a favorite soup might be. And then some people make special side dishes like a noodle kugel or a potato kugel. Some people maybe make a special chicken recipe for Friday night. And then on Shabbat day, some people have a tradition to start a crock pot Friday night before Shabbat starts and fill that crock pot with like a beef stew. And in that crock pot, then they would eat that food on Saturday afternoon for lunch. And that beef stew is called cholent. And then, do you have a question?
What is that Kugel? What's that?
So a kugel, it's typically it's either made with noodles or potatoes, and it's usually in a casserole dish. And if it's a noodle kugel, it's usually eggs and noodles. Sometimes it's with cheese, sometimes it's with margarine, sometimes it's with raisins. There's a lot of different recipes for noodle kugel, or it can be made with potatoes if you're gluten-free.
Okay.
The idea is that you're not cooking during Shabbat, so you prepare ahead of time and you put it overnight.
Okay.
And it's getting kind of brownish when you cook. Taste that should
Some people do
So-
sweet. some
It
people
sounds like
don't.
it tastes good.
Yeah, my husband's grandma makes a really good one, if there's leftovers. But there's usually not, but I'll share happily.
Yes.
So it's usually, kugel is usually made in a casserole dish, and baked in the oven.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
that sounds good, that baking part.
Yeah. And then setting the table, special for Shabbat, some people use a special white tablecloth. And then having wine or grape juice, like a special cup for that, whether it's a wine glass or not. And then having the 2 loaves of challah bread.
I have a question about the challah.
Sure.
The 2 loaves I understand, but I've seen where people not only have the 2 loaves, they knock them together, they hit them together, but they also have salt. What is that? What is the meaning of that?
So that Marilyn is correct that a lot of times on Friday night when you bless the special challah bread, after you bless it, if it's not Rosh Hashanah, then people dip the bread in salt, and it actually kind of reminds us of back in the old times of sacrifices.
I've also heard that because salt like never expires, like it never spoils, it like reminds us that our connection with God or our tradition is, it will never spoil, it'll never expire, it's forever.
Okay, thanks.
Good, thank you, Marilyn, for adding that. So when does Shabbat technically start and end? So technically, the time between sunset on Friday night and the emergence of 3 stars, or stars on Saturday night. So what do we do if it's cloudy out? We just look for the fact that it's dark. Chat.
Oh, yeah.
And Elizabeth is adding that, yes, typically we do light our Shabbat candles 18 minutes before sunset. And we try and make sure that we have everything prepared for Shabbat 18 minutes before sunset. And today in the modern world, a lot of our phone apps will tell us when is sunset. So then you can calculate backwards what is 18 minutes before that. And that would be the technical start of Shabbat.
I don't know why, I thought that it was like an 18-minute grace period. It
So-
doesn't work the other way too?
So it does.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was like, because I ran into someone at Target and they were someone that was Shomer Shabbat, they kept the laws of Shabbat. And they were like, yeah, I'm really testing those 18 minutes today. And I didn't know what she meant. And then I thought about it and that was the inference that I made.
Yeah, so as Elizabeth referred to the 18 minutes, so some people use those 18 minutes between the 18 minutes before and then the actual sunset. So you might ask yourself, what do you need for Shabbat? If you were to have Shabbat in your house, if you were to have Shabbat in your classroom, you want to have a Kiddush cup. It could be the plastic cup that you see here. You can buy them at Metro Market. Grape juice for serving our students, or you could buy a special bottle of wine. The 2 challahs, some people don't make a whole big loaf of bread and just use 2 rolls. And then candles and a candle holder. So this is a picture of my Shabbat candles. A friend of mine bought these for me. And then we might ask ourselves, how does Shabbat end? So Jews conclude Shabbat with Havdalah, in which we give verbal expression to the difference between the sanctity of Shabbat and the ordinary weekdays. So the laws pertaining to Havdalah are similar to those pertaining to Kiddush. Just as one must mention the sanctity of Shabbat on Friday night over a cup of wine or grape juice, so too at the conclusion of Shabbat, one recites Havdalah or the blessings of the Havdalah ceremony over a cup of wine or grape juice. So the word Havdalah literally means separation. So it's a Jewish sensory ritual performed on Saturday night to mark the end of Shabbat and the beginning of the new week, transitioning from that sacred time that we just had of Shabbat to the mundane week ahead. So what does the ceremony involve? It involves lighting typically a braided candle. Sometimes you might see a candle that just has 2 wicks next to each other. And sometimes you might actually see a full braided candle. Smelling of spices. This could be as simple as taking cinnamon out of your pantry and using that, or it could be as fancy as getting cloves or other different spices that bring comfort to you. So it comforts the soul at the departure of the restful Shabbat. And then the blessing of the cup of wine to signify a peaceful transition. The cup is usually filled to the brim, sometimes overflowing, symbolizing a spilling over of blessings for the week to come.
I love that.
So how do we perform the Havdalah ceremony? So it is performed on Saturday night when 3 stars are visible, indicating Shabbat has ended. We gather our friends, our family, whoever we just spent Shabbat with, our single cup of grape juice, our spice box, which is called besamim, and we actually light the braided candle or the candle that we have with 2 wicks, 2 or more wicks. And we say 3 specific blessings, 1 over the wine, 1 over spices, and 1 over the fire of the candle. And then in closing, participants often look at their fingers, and you might wonder why, in the light of the candle as you're saying the blessing over fire. And that's to contrast between light and dark, or the peace of Shabbat and the mundane week ahead. Finally, the candle is extinguished, and a lot of times you take after you say the blessing over the cup of wine, a lot of times people either pour a little bit of the wine into a plate and extinguish the candle that way, or you could just take the candle and dip it into the remaining wine. And that crackling sound is one of my favorite parts about Havdalah, hearing the crackling.
The teens say the louder the sizzle, the better the week. You can maybe do it every Monday morning.
Right, so.
And the kids are waiting to sizzling.
So Havdalah is one of those ceremonies that if maybe you were busy Saturday night and you didn't get a chance to do it on Saturday night when Shabbat is over, you can do it on Sunday, you can do it on Monday, as long as it's done sometime between Saturday night and Monday afternoon, Monday morning, to really recognize the separation from our Shabbat, our Sabbath, our day of rest, to the rest of the week. Some religious schools might start religious school on Sunday morning with Havdalah. Or in my school this past year, we started the school year actually off with Havdalah. Why? Because we were ending the summer and starting a new school year. And then what do you need for Havdalah? You can have as complicated as the braided candles, or you can have something as simple as this candle that just has 2 wicks. And then you can actually buy special spices to use for Havdalah. Or like I said, you can just go to the spice section of any grocery store and get either cloves or cinnamon or something like that. And then you, just like Kiddush on Friday night, you need to have more of that grape juice and that Kiddush oil. So in closing, I just want to share that typically on Friday night or Shabbat day, people wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. If you've ever heard that phrase, Shabbat Shalom, well, what does that mean? It means a Sabbath of peace or hello Shabbat. The word Shabbat literally means Sabbath or rest, or and Shalom means peace, hello, and goodbye. So when we say it on Friday afternoon, we're saying, hi Shabbat, welcome Shabbat, have a good Shabbat. And then on Saturday night or Sunday, you might hear somebody wish somebody a Shavua Tov. And Shavua means week and Tov means good. So if you're saying Shavua Tov to somebody, you're saying have a good week. So.
So what we be doing? So what do we be doing?
So when you say Todah, you're saying the word thank you.
Okay. Okay.
And just some final thoughts. The Shabbat is a mindset of completeness, allowing people to stop creating or altering their world and instead appreciate it as it is. In Israel actually shuts down on Shabbat, not in every city and not in every part of Israel, but the public transportation actually stops. The buses stop running at a certain time, the trains stop running at a certain time on Friday afternoon. And it's kind of like a mad dash to get to where you have to be before the buses and trains stop working. Right, a lot of shops and a lot of restaurants, grocery stores and everything are closing on Friday afternoon. And in many parts of Israel, it's really a quieter time. It physically sounds quieter. You don't hear the cars driving, you don't hear the buses driving, you don't hear the people honking. It's just actually a physically quieter time. Not in every city, but majority of Israel. And it's also some people use this as a time to not talk about money or business matters, or things that you might discuss during the week. You might say, hey, I'm taking a break from work. And if you want to talk to me about work, let's talk on Sunday, let's talk on Monday, let's talk at another time of the week. And many Orthodox Jews follow these prohibitions, while a lot of our secular or more liberal Jews interpret Shabbat in modern ways, such as having that digital detox and focusing on the face-to-face connection. So that's what I have for everyone. And does anybody have any questions for me or comments or things that you'd like to share about your favorite part about Shabbat or Havdalah?
I love the reminder to reset. Sometimes, especially nowadays, everyone just always just go, go, go. And so sometimes it's nice just to sit back, take a breath.
Yeah, I agree. So I know that
I really appreciate it. Yes, rest and all important, but I really appreciate the time to connect with family. Because even, the modern family, mother, father, flying, coming back, their kids, mostly don't see them. And in Shabbat, it's like, no work, I'm all for you. So it's so important for today. I mean, nowadays, it's even more important. It's always, but
Can I
that's
ask,
what I feel.
what does your Shabbat practice usually look like? Like, how do you set those boundaries that allow you to read?
So now it's just me and my husband. But if I see my grandchildren, so we're trying to do some stuff together. Doesn't matter actually what, if we play a game or we take a walk or whatever, but we are together, we are talking. They get their attentions, they feel like we care about them. And even between husband and wife, the week goes so fast. I know with my daughter, for example, I said, when you're meeting on the airport, like he goes for a week, he come back, she goes for a few days. I said, what life are you living these days, Crazy.
Right.
So crazy.
So it sounds like you're like really intentional about the time that you spend.
Yes.
It's really important.
Thank you. So if you're on Zoom and you didn't hear what Shlomi said, just about the value of taking the time on Friday night or Saturday to reconnect with family, and really intentionally have conversations and speak to each other, face to face. Important. So thank you, everyone, for your time. I know that time is precious. And I know that there's many different things that you might want to do during your lunch hour or during your break. And I hope that some of the activities and ways that I've shared to celebrate Shabbat are things that you can either bring to your classroom or to your students, or to share with your families how they can bring Shabbat into their home.
Carrie.
Thank you.
Thank
There's
you.
something in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth suggested that she loves spending time with her family. Kia said they end this. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Look, I still got a few minutes to pray.
Yeah, look at that.
Can I take snacks to go? Thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely. Feel free.
I want gushers.
Thank you.
I love these.
And they're kosher.